Democracy delivers a secure, stable, and prosperous world for future generations.
The word democracy has been resonating around Washington this week and across what it calls the free world. But in reality, there are deep questions about this summit, with critics calling it divisive, lacking concrete goals, and a cover for US political aims of isolating nations like China. The final day of this three-day summit focused on technology and democracy, and while the words TikTok and China were not mentioned by top officials here, it's clear the US hopes to shape this group to its view of the world.
We're working with partners to update and establish as necessary rules and norms so that technology is developed and used in ways that reflect our democratic values and interests. We've long promoted an open, interoperable, secure, reliable internet, but the internet is also growing more closed, more insecure, more siloed by the day. We need to be able to hold platforms accountable when they fail to address the harms caused by their technology.
While admitting its own democracy is flawed, the Biden administration is requesting nearly $10 billion for what it calls efforts to advance democracy. It's planning on a Bureau of Democracy to push the US version of that often debated concept around the world. But in Washington and virtually, the US, as hosts this summit, have tried to hide deep divisions from the guest list. Israel and India were invited. NATO allies Turkey and Hungary were not, and Taipei was also included. And when it came to agreeing to the final communique, Pakistan had problems with it, as did regional rival India, over internet and other issues. More than a handful of countries attending will skip signing on to the final document. Chinese diplomats in Washington have characterized this summit as a lecture from the US, painting only American and Western democracy as good and right. And this is more about politics, they say, than democracy. The message here all week is that Western democracies have been bouncing back in recent years, largely due to their inclusive and transparent nature. But this whole summit for democracy has essentially been not very inclusive at all. And also, its real aims are opaque to half the world that wasn't invited. Nathan King, CGTN, outside the White House.